A lot of people install lossless scaling, enable frame generation, see a massive FPS increase, and immediately assume everything is working perfectly. Then they start noticing weird issues. The game feels less responsive, mouse movement feels delayed, motion looks strange, micro-stutters appear out of nowhere, and somehow, despite seeing a much higher FPS number, the game actually feels worse. The problem usually isn't lossless scaling itself, it's how it's being used. Today, I'll show you the biggest mistakes people make with lossless scaling in 2026 and how to actually unlock the smoothness this software is capable of delivering. Because FPS numbers don't matter if the game feels terrible.
Step 1. Using lossless scaling on the wrong games. The first mistake happens before you even open the software. A lot of people treat lossless scaling as an FPS booster only. That's not really what it is. Lossless scaling is a smoothness tool more than FPS booster. Its job is to improve motion clarity, frame pacing consistency, and perceived fluidity. It works best when your FPS is already stable, your CPU limited, the game lacks modern frame generation, frame pacing is inconsistent. Examples where LS often shines: older AAA games, emulator gaming, RPGs, strategy games, DX11 titles. Where it usually struggles: constantly unstable FPS, heavy GPU bottlenecks, games dropping below 50 to 60 FPS. If the game already feels unstable, frame generation has bad source material to work with. Fix the baseline performance first by limiting your FPS using a software like RTSS River Tuner. I have a full video about this, I will link it in the description. And after you limit your FPS, then you can add frame generation.
Step 2. Chasing FPS numbers instead of smoothness. This is easily the most common mistake. People see 60 FPS to 240 FPS and assume bigger numbers automatically mean better gameplay. In reality, pushing frame generation too aggressively often creates more latency, more artifacts, worse frame pacing, and less responsive controls. For most systems, 2x frame generation is the sweet spot. Examples: 60 to 120 FPS, 90 to 180 FPS, 120 to 240 FPS. Recommended setup: LSFG 3.1 or newer, fixed mode, performance mode on, 2x generation. The goal is consistency, not the biggest FPS number possible. A stable 120 FPS experience often feels dramatically better than an unstable 240 FPS one.
Step 3. Running out of GPU headroom. This is one of the biggest reasons lossless scaling feels delayed. Many users enable frame generation while their GPU is already sitting at 98 to 100% utilization. At that point, there's no room left for LSFG to do its job. The result? Input delay, frame spikes, stuttering, and uneven frame delivery. Before enabling LSFG, aim for 70 to 85% GPU utilization. You can create GPU headroom by lowering shadows, reflections, volumetrics, and ray tracing. Avoid lowering texture quality first. Textures mostly affect VRAM usage. The goal is giving your GPU enough breathing room to handle frame generation smoothly. Step 4. Letting overlays fight lossless scaling. Another mistake most people never think about: too many overlays. Every overlay wants access to the rendering pipeline. Lossless scaling does too. Common examples: Discord overlay, Steam overlay, Xbox Game Bar, MSI Afterburner overlay, Radeon overlay, NVIDIA overlay. The more software fighting for access to the game, the higher the chance of
frame pacing issues, black screens, stutters, capture conflicts. For testing, disable every overlay, then enable only the ones you truly need. Many people are surprised by how much smoother the experience becomes. Step 5. Ignoring your display settings. A surprising number of users never configure their display properly. First, verify your monitor is actually running at its advertised refresh rate. Check that you're running 144 Hz, 165 Hz, 240 Hz, or whatever your monitor supports. Next, enable VRR. Examples: FreeSync, G-Sync. Then, cap your FPS slightly below your monitor refresh rate. Examples: 141 FPS for 144 Hz, 162 FPS for 165 Hz, 237 FPS for 240 Hz. This helps reduce buffer congestion, VRR instability, and frame pacing spikes. It's one of the simplest ways to make frame generation feel more consistent.
Step 6. Letting Windows interfere. Lossless scaling relies heavily on smooth GPU scheduling and clean frame delivery. Unfortunately, Windows isn't always helpful. A few things worth checking. Disabled transparency effects. Settings, /personalization, /colors. Turn off transparency effects. This slightly reduces desktop composition overhead. Disable hardware acceleration in background apps, especially Chrome, Edge, Discord, and Spotify. These applications can consume GPU resources in the background and compete with frame generation workloads. Less contention means better frame pacing, lower latency, and fewer random spikes. This isn't a huge FPS tweak, it's a consistency tweak, and consistency is exactly what lossless scaling needs.
Step 7. Stacking frame generation technologies. This is the mistake that instantly ruins everything. Never run multiple frame generation systems at the same time. Choose one, not two, not three. Do not combine lossless scaling with DLSS frame generation, FSR frame generation, AMD fluid motion frames, or NVIDIA smooth motion. Running multiple frame generators simultaneously can create severe input lag, motion artifacts, frame pacing issues, and visual instability. If you're using lossless scaling frame generation, let it be the only frame generator active.
Lossless scaling is one of the best smoothness tools available today. But the people getting amazing results aren't just copying settings from a video. They're avoiding the mistakes that create latency, stutters, and poor frame pacing in the first place. Remember, start with stable FPS, use 2x generation, leave GPU headroom, limit overlays, configure VRR properly, keep Windows clean, never stack frame generation systems. Do that, and you'll finally understand why so many people swear by lossless scaling. It won't magically create performance out of thin air, but it can make a game feel dramatically smoother when it's used correctly.